Hello, everybody. Welcome to the International Overwatch League Minors. I am here casting our Season 6 Week 8 game between Lames and Royalty Knights. Lames being the NA team and Royalty Knights being the EU team. So we'll see a little bit of interesting ping things going on. I am super excited. I am the light of your life. I am Light and I'm co-hosting with...
Calico Kitty, nice to meet you guys.
Thanks for coming to cast with me. I'm like super jazzed. I don't think we've had any time yet. This is like our first time, right?
It's my first time casting. I'm super excited for this.
Good. What are you looking forward to for today's map? We're starting with Oasis. What are you kind of like feeling so far? Have you seen like any of the other teams play yet?
I actually have seen both teams play. I've spectated I've actually watched some WODs from both sides, and both teams seem to be really impressive. I'm looking forward to see how this goes today. I'm hoping there'll be all 5 maps even.
Yeah, like anybody watching this, if they've ever seen me cast before, they know that I'm always kind of a map fiver type person. Really love a good struggle. But here, if you're joining us fresh out this week, we have our usual map pool. We are playing Oasis, followed by Hollywood, Havana, Numbani, and Lijiang. And we do have the coin flip going to Royalty Knights. We will be starting with an EU map. Oasis ping, and Oasis map on EU ping. Mixing up all my words. But I think we are quite ready to go in. I don't see any reason to delay this any longer. They say they're ready. I think we're ready. So Calico, I don't know much about like your Overwatch background. What do you usually play on Oasis?
Uh, According to my knowledge, usually for control maps, I guess AoE healing is quite the comp that most people run, like Lucio, BAP for supports. As for tanks, I would you'd say maybe like Ryan Zarya, like we're seeing Ryan Zarya. Hopefully this is what they're sticking with.
I know we get like a Lucio, so they're gonna be speeding into point, moving pretty quick as usual. Like I really love a good Bastion. I know it's kind of like a cheese pick, but I still kind of love it. But I guess we can kind of see how they go in their first fight here. But their supports, they both get Lucios, but one gets a Moira, one gets an Ana.
I think the Lucio pick is really important because the first team fight's really depending on who gets to point first.
It looks like man getting a little slowed down by Narlox here, but is able to survive with that anti coming like straight off the back of that Ana, and Qualified goes down first to Wonderful. Oh, plenty of stuff going on for Lames, moving really quick here.
Lanes seem to be cleaning up this fight really quickly, and I'm guessing they're going for the cap now.
I knew that fight was gonna go fast.
That was certainly very unexpected. We do have Ryan Meh on lanes coming up with Shatter already, but it gets blocked by Qualified on Royalty.
Yeah, they're kind of taking a little bit of energy in this side room. The Shatter comes out of Qualified, coming in real hot on Detective, but it's going to end up flipping to them as they kind of close in on some of those more essential kills.
We do see the Zarya pushing up quite a bit to make space for the Royalty. Both teams are putting out ults to confirm their objective right now. A lot of ults being used on the map right now.
Yeah, but we had Moira, we had High Noon, another High Noon, both sides pulling both Cassidy ultimates and getting, you know, some scare time in. But it seems like it's gonna flip back to lames here. So they're kind of evenly matched. We get about, like, you know, 40% on either side. So I think we're gonna have, like, this, you know, push and pull for both teams.
But if this keeps on going, this looking at the facts that lanes did have their first cap, if it keeps on switching, the map will go to lanes. So Royalty will need to pick up the pace and put up a fight if they want to get this map.
Yeah, Azazel combining his dragons with Blank, just cleaning up the rest of Royalty right there, getting a team kill. They're about 70% of the way there, so they're looking pretty good, but we do have grab from Smiling Ghost as well, and Shatter coming up once again, so they'll be kind of able to make some good choices here with their tanks.
Oh, the counter Shatter is huge, and the lanes are gonna clean this up. That seems to be the last fight, and I do not think Royalty will be able to touch.
No, Jock is trying to get there, and he just touches.
Oh, just touched it, yeah.
Ooh, Coalescence coming out. Detective taking out Qualified as well. Smiling Ghost gets demeched, and we have Detective just cleaning it up. Ooh, that was pretty impressive. Lames came in really strong right there towards that later half.
I think it was really impressive how Blank on the Zarya was pushing up and making space for his team to really give them that open area to contest both sides of choke points.
Yeah, we do see some changes coming out of the team. Narlox is choosing a Symmetra this time, hopefully to kind of do a little bit of recon on the point. Neuro also swaps over to Soldier, but it looks like Lames won't be making any large changes. They're probably feeling pretty comfortable after that first win.
4, 3, 2, 1.
But I really hope we see them take the high ground pretty quickly, but it looks like everybody might have that same idea.
We're seeing the lanes go high ground and dropping down contest Royalty.
Yeah, Mel on this Reinhardt, he's just swinging, takes out Neuro in the process, but he is getting a little cooked by those symmetric turrets, and Jock also meets like the unhappy end of his hammer as well. Oh, and it's Smiling Ghost, which is off Diva, and instead goes to Sigma. So now Royalty Knights are playing double shield.
Double shield on this map. That is the first time I'm seeing this, and I'm excited to see how that's gonna turn out.
I know, they just gotta figure out how they want to move close because they're gonna have these Rhine fights, but the Shatter does go off from Meh, just doing a bit of clearing. Wonderful right behind him, moving him along.
We are seeing picks from both sides, but it looks like lanes are gonna hold on to this point just a little bit longer.
I know, they're about halfway there. Royalty Knights are going to have to make some big decisions. They have everything in their pocket right now. They have a bunch of ultimates to use, but they're going to have to just make big choices early, but this grab is going to slow them down.
Speed coming out from Jog. And Smiling Ghosts have swapped off to that Roadhog. It's peak potential.
And it seems Blank is the only member left right now trying to buy some extra time off that point. It's going to give them a couple bits of percentage left. They make it to 85. But it does flip, but Royalty has to start all the way from the bottom, currently at 5%. So they gotta do a bit of work to make up for the lost time.
We do have Shelly Bean coming up with a nano to hold on to this objective. But it does seem like that the ults coming up on the side of Royalty is quite low right now.
Ooh, Detective gets one. But that nano may be useful qualified. May get a little bounced in between the team here as Zazzle takes out 2. Ooh, and I think they're gonna end up stabilizing here. Blank and Wonderful are left alone with Reinhardt right now. But Farah is coming in to kind of back him up as he moves around the point, and they still hold on to it. Almost 50%.
Royalty is putting up quite a fight here. It's impressive to see this.
You seem in need of aid.
They just need to hold on to it a bit longer, and it'll put a lot of pressure on lane.
Yeah, Deity almost had that orb to heal herself after Neuro was in the back, just giving her a little bit of a poke, a little bit too hard. And Royalty's coming back really strong, almost at 80% themselves. There's going to be maybe 1 or 2 team fights left as we enter this last 20%.
The Roadhog swap seems to be doing a lot for the Royalty right now, as well as the Pharah pick. Speaking of Pharah pick, Narlox has come up with Barrage here. He does not get any picks, but that's a lot of damage done. And it looks like the Royalty might actually get this point.
Yeah, I don't think Wonderful will be able to step back on, and a beat drop to finish it all, and they're 1-1. I was surprised.
They are really evenly matched. What a fight that was.
I didn't think they'd be, because it's kind of, you know, it's harder to pull it back in those last percentages. 85 is damn near very, very close to finishing a map, but they ended up starting from 0 and just claiming it all. Just great movement. I think that switch over to the Tracer too bought them some extra back damage. We saw, you know, Neuro poking at Deity on Moira. It was kind of like a critical pick because that's their main support, and so they were able to just kind of break it down like one by one. So now they're going to have to fight on third map, making some big decisions here. Narlox is also now introducing Junkrat into the mix.
It also seems like that Royalty is going back to the double barrier. See how that works out on this map.
Yeah, Meta and Blank have been playing this Zarya Rein combo, and they might not be able to burst through the shield.
Oh, that was a fast ult build. Man's really doing a lot of work on that Reinhardt. And first cap goes to lanes.
Okay, coming in really hot, qualified, almost. Oh, like, were they playing Ryan before? Well, yeah, I think that just Man was just moving so quickly to build that shatter. I'm like, how long did they spend out of spawn? Is less than a minute, and he ends up like building that so quickly.
That was insane. They will shatter in one fight. That's a lot of damage done.
Yeah, it looks like even though, you know, they lost men, like the Rhine, they're not able to push. They're pretty even right now. I hope that they wouldn't kind of move in, but they probably just don't feel safe going without qualified. It was not qualified. Yeah, qualified. He wasn't there right then.
Smiling goes, swapping back to that Roadhog, and Narlock's back on that Pharah. It did work last map. Hopefully it works for them this map as well.
Yeah, we have a little bit of trading going on. Detective taking a look at Smiling Ghost on that hog, who gets solo grabbed. He does take one with him, and they're about 70% of the way there. This could be what we saw just last round where they rip it back at 85 and end up holding, but I don't know, they're fighting a little bit harder, it seems.
I don't know, like, but I believe that Royalty will turn this around maybe somehow. They did it the last time. I'm expecting to see it again.
Yeah, we have both dragons coming out from Azazel and Neuro crossing the point.
Beat from Jog, keeping up the whole team. Neuro does get picked off by Detective though.
Yeah, and Smiling goes to the last one. We do have a ball entering. We do have Shelly being on Moira too, trying to buy some time.
Barrage. Oh, but it seems like Lames will be taking this map.
Victory.
And that's 1-0 to Lames. That was intense. I'm not gonna lie, the back and forth cap, that was really, they're so evenly matched.
I'm waiting to see which. This is that compared with paired with Blank. He does that grab dragon and just cleans up. He gets 5 people, I believe, by himself. Yes, takes out 5.
Wow. That is so good. Wow, I'm actually, wow. I don't know, but it looks like maybe we might get a map 5.
I think that the way that they're fighting this, like, you know, Qualified mentioned in the chat, you got Shatter so fast. Med is like this scary Reinhardt, just aggressive.
Insane. Honestly, insane. I was stunned. Like, I didn't even see it get built up. One fight, Shatter. You gotta be so good for that. The amount of damage you gotta put out. Oh.
And all before, like, the point unlock, too, because they were only about maybe 15% in when he ended up, like, ripping that. That was crazy.
Right? That was super crazy. That must be some Ryan text right there. I could not imagine being a support player myself.
Listen, it's like, you just kind of, like, watch it happen, you know? Like, you just kind of close your eyes, it just happens to you. That's kind of what being support is like.
I blinked and then he was shattering and I'm just like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh. So I guess for the people in the, you know, Twitch realm, while I go ahead and check for changes in map, do you want to tell them what the score is?
The score currently is 1-0. Lames being 1 up. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of this going on. Back and forth stuff maybe. Excited to see how this match turns out.
I feel like first map gives me like a really good feel for how, you know, like, how do I say this? Like, you know how you kind of have like an inkling about which team's gonna be like the team, but like here they're so evenly matched. I just don't know. They're fighting like so well. Like we saw all 3 maps of Oasis. That's just how hard they're fighting.
Right? Yeah. But then again, I also do think sometimes some teams take first map as like to getting to know how the opposite teams play or like getting used to it and then like getting comfortable, and then the next map they just absolutely do complete 180 and just roll maybe. I don't know. I feel like that could also happen, so sometimes it just turns around and it's crazy.
Alright, but we do have some swaps coming in. We have Dire Raven entering the fray for Lames, and we also have Miss Shiny Pants for Royalty Knights, and Kyuketsuki also coming in as well as Kron, so changes like across, you know, the Royalty Knights like lines of support, but we do only have one change for Lames on their support line. I wonder what they're planning, because usually when they make big swaps like this, they have something in mind for what that person can play and would provide to the team. And so I'm wondering if Kiketsuki's going to provide like some aerial, you know, like a Pharah or an Echo.
I do think maybe because considering the map, there are quite a few sightlines for hit scans, such as Widowmaker or Ash, maybe snipers or soldier Kree. Cassidy. I would love to see something like that being played over here on Hollywood, especially. I feel like Soldier is a big pick on Hollywood as well as Cassidy. So maybe they're bringing out something like that, considering the map. For Lames, we're seeing Raven on support. I wonder what they're planning on bringing out. Maybe an Ana? Could be.
Um, hold on. I'm getting.
There is some confusion going on, but
Huh? He's. They making interesting requests, but I no understand. I no understand. I need to.
I'm not sure what's going on either. This is quite new for me, but I thought so. It's supposed to be May Central.
Okay, so they want to run a ping test. Both teams have agreed to this, so we're just going to not let them choose their map. I'll just choose Busan. They want to test their capabilities, so this is the start of a ping test. We will pause the broadcast. We will be back shortly. Alright, and ideally, this should be back. We should be back. Teams have completed their ping test as requested, and we will be moving on to map 2, which is Hollywood.
I really hope we see an Ashe or Widow come into play from either teams. With the long sight lines on this map, I feel like it'd be a good pick.
I would like to see an Ashe too, personally, just because they have that like little elevator space on the back of point. It could be kind of useful to be able to get on and off that high ground. It's like the highest point currently when they do those initial pushes.
Yeah, personally for me, I would love to see a Widowmaker come here to be played, because there's just very many angles you could take as Widow and get some picks, pushies, maybe supports from either side, honestly, attack or defense.
I think you're gonna get your wish. Kikatsuki's choosing the Widow here, and Neuro's picking up Symmetra. They have some sort of plan in mind with this T-piece, and I'm like terrified.
I am so excited. I hope this turns out super good super well for them.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
I personally love running Widow on this map because I just feel like it's one of the good maps to play Widow in for me.
It looks like they're gonna have to hurry up and make it quick on the TP. They are going left stairs, high ground. Here we do have some decent picks here. We do have a little bit of a Reinhardt fighting going on. Med taking Smiling Ghost to the edge. Mr. Shiny Pants, excuse me.
We see that Flames is actually holding on to this point. They have lost some of their players, their main tank, but they're still holding on to this point, which is good in their favor.
Routing power to forward shield.
I feel like Royalty should push this. They would probably put some damage into it and make some space.
Yeah, it seems like Neuros has a TP from the left high ground to the right high ground. There's a bit of a shatter going on from Mev. And it looks like Lames is just gonna clean it up, but they're kind of even speaking too soon because stuff is happening.
There are so many picks coming off from both sides, but it seems like Lames is gonna hold on to this point. Mercy, Resin, Diana, I do not think they'll be able to push this anymore.
I'm back in the fight.
You know, Smiling God starting off some of that poking there and going up to Blank, who was on the high ground, but not alone for long. Met is up there, followed by both supports. So I think this is the push right now from Royalty. They're just going to go with the Symmetra wall.
Grab coming out from Lames. Badger out from Royalty. But it still seems like Lames is gonna hold on to this point. They're putting up a really good fight here.
I know, I'm kind of wondering, between Nero and Kikatsuki, I thought that Royalty might be able to kind of work what's best for them. Maybe like Widow goes for the body shot, Junkrat finishes the kill, you know, or, you know, vice versa. But it seems like they're just getting slowed down just a little bit. We do see a Moira being introduced. No more Ana, Shelly. Not Ana. Was she playing Lucio Mercy? I can't remember, but there was definitely a swap there.
I feel like they were running an Ana. I'm not too sure about that. But we do see that Lames is now coming up with ults, and full ults being used by Royalty. Last fight, I think Lames will be holding onto the point for a bit longer. Huge anti from Deity.
I think this is the push that Royalty like needed. This is going to be their chance here. There's only Azazel and Die Raven on the Mercy and Junkrat left. They're going to have to kind of come with some alternative plans here. It's just the two of them.
I think Royalty might be taking this point now. They've got their whole team on the point unless Royalty Yep, that is it. That is first point capped by Royalty. We're seeing lanes contesting high ground.
My will made real.
We have Junkrat Tire for Azazel coming up. Blank also finishing up that grab. We could see a little bit of a combination from them.
Detective coming out with the ult to hold on to the point a bit longer. But it seems like Royalty is gonna get held back actually.
Yeah, the only person left is Smiling Ghost up here alone eating some of that anti, but they may or may not be able to get out. It seems like Blank is just on top of it, making it really quickly.
I think Smiling Ghost was trying to get some support picks right. That would have been really good, but unfortunately it did not work out too well. Hopefully this will be a better push for Royalty.
Yeah, I'm a little scared. Kikitsuki's hitting these shots. We just saw Azazel take a body shot. Was thankfully supported by Mercy. But they're gonna get pushed all the way back to spawn, like all the way back.
It does seem like Nero has set up to use Junk Tire over here. Are we gonna see a huge tire? I hope so.
I know. We see him
Got a
crouching
plan,
on the
got a
roof. They don't seem to know that he's there, so I guess he's just waiting for the call. And that might be it.
And we see the tire come out. Oh, 2 picks for Nero. That is great.
I'm a little afraid though. Dire Raven's coming in for that res.
Mercy coming. Yeah. That's the Ryan res that's gonna be difficult for Royalty to push again. And it seems like they're gonna be stopped yet again.
They have this last minute to kind of figure out what they want to do. Mr. Shiny Pants does have Shatter, but the closest ultimate that might be able to kind of benefit from that is Moira. They can kind of just use that for heals and swing into the Shatter. That's their last kind of plan here. Ooh, the Shatter doesn't land.
Shatter gets blocked. Molten Core coming out from Detective to contest the point a bit longer. This is gonna be an overtime fight if they touch this again, Royalty.
Yeah, Smiling Ghost hanging out on the right, trying to decide when's the last possible second to go back in there. They are able to touch. Coalescence is out.
The slope on the Farah. They do not have a hit scan except to store it, so this might actually work. And
Ooh,
it seems like the Royalty is actually gonna push this card on overtime. Wow.
Yeah, so this is about to be like a really tight game, because if they make it on overtime, like it'll be pretty good, but the sucky part about playing in overtime is like anybody steps off, it's over.
The C9. They're gonna be a C9. I wonder.
Ooh, we have Meg coming out with this nano swing, gets a huge Shatter. Smiling Ghost meets the back of that wall.
It does seem like lanes is a bit split up right now, so Royalty might have a chance. Grab coming out, but Barrage is not gonna save them that fight, and that's it for the push for Royalty. Honestly, I think for an overtime push that was quite good. They did manage to get it quite a bit further in. So, fortunately, not all the way, but I think they put up quite a good fight. That.
Yeah, it's like just enough distance. It's like reasonable, because even if they do clutch first, you still have some time to slow them down on the way to second, but it goes so quickly if they're like 3 speeding it. So you just have to kind of see how this like initial couple of fights is going to go, because if they cap fairly quickly, they'll be able to kind of just move on the clock. They won't have to work in overtime.
I do feel like maybe a defensive ult in Royalty's favor would really work for the Torbjorn Molten Core because it's taking a lot of their time up having to wait out the Molten Core.
30 seconds.
That's just causing a lot of time loss for them, so I do feel like maybe a defensive ult would be really good for them here, but we do see some switches coming here.
Then our enemies will have no
Protective
chance.
on the Cassidy and Azazel on a Doomfist. Wow. You don't
I know,
get
let's
to see
take-
Doomfist that much.
I know, let's take a peek at that on this initial setup because nothing's really more horrifying like a really good Doomfist rollout.
Doomfist rollouts. If you can pull those off, honestly, you can just deadlift a team. We do see some
Ooh.
rollouts coming from Doomfist.
Ooh, Azazel was in, but that turret was just looking at him as he came over the roof. That's gotta go. They're gonna have him kind of move around, especially so high in the air.
Azazel does get res, and they're getting a bunch of damage in. That's honestly a lot already. Huge anti from Deity again. And it seems like Royalty will be holding onto the point.
Yeah, and their ults already, like, they're looking pretty stacked already, like, pretty much everything online. They'll be able to kind of continue this momentum.
They have full ults online with Diva and Reinald coming up. Window and High Note coming out here. And it seems like Lames is gonna wait it out. 5 ults here coming up for Lames. If they manage to push this, it'll be really good for them. Shatter out from mid.
All systems checked out.
Oh, the Diva Bomb does get made. That's a huge pick.
Ooh, and there's a little bit of action going on in the back of point. Mr. Shiny Pants not able to survive. Woo!
Oh, woo, Detective with the noon. Getting 2 picks, that is gonna clean up that fight for Lames, and they will be capping this point.
Objective A captured. Stop the payload.
Neuro is pulling out a Sombra, introducing kind of a scarier element. No shield for Meh. He's gonna have maybe a little bit of a hard time here playing without the shield. Blank is a really attentive Zarya, but you know, it's even scarier when you don't have your own protection.
Especially now that you can't really defend the team. It's, oh, huge shatter from Shiny. We do see Azazel swapping onto the soldier.
Meh just on this Nano.
Solo grab one to Kyuketsuki, picks him off.
Yeah, they do still have to make it down this middle stretch. Only Anna's pushing the point, so it's going to be a little slow. So it's going to be a full regroup from Royalty before this corner.
Suiting up.
But I think we have a problem. Detective is doing a bit of heading around to the high ground very quietly.
I'm expecting a huge high noon. Oh, does the emo comes out to save the team. Emo do be frustrating like that. Ooh, Diva Bomb coming out from Royalty. Gets blank.
Yeah, we do have a visor coming out. It's just a couple Kyuketsuki over on Genji now. Smiling Ghost out of Meg. We do have Neuro on Sombra getting help from Kyuketsuki on that Azazel kill who is playing Soldier. So this is going to be a bit of a fight. They're playing all these fast characters to kind of rush back, but oh, Kyuketsuki's getting off the point. Oh, okay, there's somebody there. I was nervous.
They seem to be really contesting this point. Oh, that, wow, that was really good by Royalty they managed to actually hold the point.
But
The DPS
it's
line
right
really
there. It is right there.
it's scary, but they're holding on to it.
I'm really kind of
The
nervous
next
because Mez coming
fight,
out with this shatter.
the next fight is gonna be insane. Mr. Shiny Pants also coming up with a shatter. We are seeing Kuketsuki with coming up with that blade, and Lane doesn't really have an ultimate to counter that. Shatter gets blocked by Mr. Shiny
Whew.
Pants.
He is cleaning up. Man, just swinging for the fences here. That hack, I don't think will slow him down a lot.
The EMP, it is a 5-man EMP though, that was huge. Blade coming
Kuketsuki!
out from Kuketsuki. Oh,
Oh!
that was so close. That was such a good fight.
I saw Kuketsuki dash out that door. It was so close.
I don't know, but I feel like Royalty put up a really good fight there. Lane's honestly doing so good. May on that Ryan Hot is absolutely insane. But Mr. Shiny Pants is holding his own ground as well, so we love to see that.
I know, they seem to be like always in each other's faces, but what ends up happening is that somehow Mr. Shiny Pants would get picked off, and then Meh would just have like free reign of the team, especially when he's getting nanos, and he doesn't have to worry about his health. He's just swinging because Ana is just watching out for him.
May has both his supports just absolutely healing him to max health and keeping him alive. And that is the kind of treatment we want to see on Reinhardt, honestly, so that they can make that space, get that damage in, get that main tank experience, good and bad.
It's like, if you don't cry, did you really play Overwatch? And the answer is no.
No, not really. I spent today the whole day playing Overwatch, so you gotta really experience both sides of Overwatch to know you're playing Overwatch.
I mean, so I guess anybody just joined. Can you give them the score really quick?
We are 2-0, Lames being the 2, and hopefully we'll see maybe a reverse sweep coming up, but stay and watch IOWL Season 6, Week 8. We're going into Havana next, and it looks like Lanes will be attacking first this time. So, Light, what are you expecting to see on this map?
So we did see Kuketsuki break out this Widow choice. And, you know, I didn't think it was a bad choice at all. It seemed like it was interesting. It just probably wasn't working for, like, the dynamic and speed of their team. So I would love to kind of see that Widow again because, you know, she tends to hide in all of these little tiny itty bitty places, you know, like high ground. And I think we could probably get something super useful out of that. And with Lames attacking first, I don't think we're going to see any major changes on Meh. He seems pretty happy on the Rhine. He's getting the support he deserves off the Rhine. So probably nothing major there. Do you have any expectations? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I do feel like the Kuketsuki would have maybe a better time playing Widowmaker on defense on Havana because I see a lot of people running Widowmaker and it's not really a fast comp you'll be playing when you're defending on Havana. You're mainly just gonna hold that choke point up top. So I think that gives a great opportunity to see if that Widow is gonna work. And like you said, yeah, I do not think May is gonna swap off that Ryan because he seems to be pretty good in that position right now. Getting all the heals and just being able to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, so currently Lame says no changes, They're feeling pretty confident going into map 3 since this is match point for them. If they end up winning this, they're gonna just 3-0. But Royalty Knights, you know, some people feel more comfortable on maps than others. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to wake up. Sometimes it takes some time to identify what the threat is. I think they probably understand that Meh is like a very, very, very large man tank threat to them, and they might want to spend some more time focusing on him. But without some major changes coming in, or at least kind of narrowing in on what the danger is coming out of Lames, they might struggle a little bit through Havana. But we do have some changes coming in. Qualified is coming back in to play with Shiny on the tank line. Kyuketsuki and Narlox instead will pull up the support line, so Nero will be leaving us this round, and Shelly and King. King is a new introduction to the round tonight, so they've made some changes in all three places. So I'm hoping that they have something interesting in mind, and you know, maybe this is a little bit of a dive situation or bunker situation.
Ooh, I love to see a good dive. It feels super satisfying to see a good dive. And honestly, I think it might work really well in their favor to run dive here because detective going for the flanks, if they're running dive, they could really contest their backline to put more pressure on the flankers, on lanes, and um, playing dive would work in their favor against Orion and a support line that's doing everything they can to keep him up. So hopefully we do see a dive.
Right, yeah, and as mentioned in our chat, thanks y'all, Lames are currently up 2. This is match point. It's go big or go home time. That's basically what the score is.
Havana. Honestly, I gotta say, this is one of my favorite maps. I feel like Havana is one of the more fun maps to play. Of course, if you're not absolutely getting held, which in my case turns out to be the case.
Sometimes it just be like that. It really be like that.
It do. Overwatch has its pros and cons.
Oh, but like I mentioned, Azazel's pulling out that Widow on attack, and Kyukitsuki's pulling out the Widow on defense, so we're probably going to have a little bit of a eyeball-to-eyeball situation between the Widows.
Widow 1v1s are absolutely a thing to live for. It seems like both teams are going to be running Ryan Zarya here. Similar comps, except Lames has an Ana, while Royalty is running the BAP. And a Junkrat on Lames, while there's a Kree for Royalty.
Ooh, and we do see Azazel get that pick on Kyuketsuki. The res does come in from Jellybean, unfortunately, but they're going to have to back up around that corner to buy some safer spaces and a regroup. And there's a reverse Uno, no you.
Kyuketsuki getting that headshot on Azazel.
Ooh, Kyuketsuki
Kyuketsuki
just
with another pick!
deadly on this whole situation here. Let's take a look.
I feel like the sightlines are much better on Havana, so it's giving him more space to like really get that angle.
The minute I click away from Kyuketsuki, she gets this insane headshot on Deity. Oops.
Kyuketsuki picking out the Raven as well. Wow. The Widow potential really coming out now. We do see that Flames is having a bit a harder time pushing point. Huge anti coming out from Qualified.
Yeah, but it looks like they're gonna just have to go back. Mr. Shiny Pants just taking out Blank in the process. They're losing out on a tank. Matt has to play a little bit safer this time around. I think without the Ana, he has to slow down a little bit so he can't like rush it as hard. Especially if he drops shield, he's gonna, leave his team open to Kyuketsuki, who has just proven themselves to be like a deadly widow.
They're gonna have to be really careful when pushing this corner because just the sidelines for the Widowmaker, it's just free fix. Kyuketsuki picks the Zazzle off right off the bat. Huge tire coming out from Narlox as well, and it seems like Royalty will be holding on right here, stopping lanes from pushing it any further.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned because there's only about a minute left on the clock, and even though we know in the last 30 seconds of Overwatch literally anything can change, but they're just holding here. I'm not sure, like, what they have to work with. They do have Visor, but 60 seconds.
Oh, that was so smart by the Royalty. They made the space so that Widowmaker can get that res from Messi. Flames will be grouping up again to push this point. Hopefully this turns out better with ults coming up.
I really
have Wiser coming up here.
I kind of thought that King would throw that grab in that last really big fight, but it seems like they're waiting for just the right time, which was right then.
They did manage to get mid, but the res comes out to get back up. Shatter gets blocked, and Wiser coming out from lanes. Ooh, huge shatter from Royalty, and
oh no, Deity is stuck in a trap in the front of the point. She gets out.
It looks like they're gonna be holding on to this.
It seems like if they have spawn advantage, so as long as they pick fast characters, they can probably hurry up and get their Deity, buying some time with Detective. Met is back in the mix in a trap, unfortunately. We have Ball coming out of King off the Zarya.
Jellybean did pop Valkyrie to keep the team up. And it's not looking too good for lanes. And
wow.
That is round one. Wow, that was so good. The Royalty is really proving themselves right now, turning this around.
So they really don't have very far to go, honestly. Like, they didn't really make first point. They're probably a little bit about halfway there. If Lames really wants to stop them in their tracks, they're just going to have to do it before they hit this corner, which is a big ask because they have so many access points. We have very far left come through the building. They have mid. They can hit around the right. Lots of opportunities for, like, sneaking in. And they have spawn advantage.
Ready for battle.
I wonder how they're gonna deal with the Widowmaker from Royalty this time. I feel like he was giving a bit of a trouble to the lanes to push the point. Honestly, I think she deserves the respect. Quite proved herself to be a good Widowmaker.
Hello.
I don't know. I'm feeling like Royalty might make this. This might be their map.
I feel like Kyuketsuki is like just a bit more confident in the Widowmaker now that they've got picked. Sometimes you just need that little bit of damage done, eliminations gotten to like make yourself feel better.
Oh, I think we have a DC. I saw that Mr. Shiny Pants stopped moving.
Oh, okay.
And I was right.
Yep, this is a pause. Hopefully it gets resolved fast so we can get back into it.
We have some comments about the pants need to be sewed. Let me just check the lobby. Make sure that they are not back yet, but I guess something must have happened. The internet be internet and
They're saying must have lagged out, which is probably what happened.
Alright, so they can't do a sub. They can bring Ghost back in for pants. It is up. We're kind of seeing what um Lames would prefer to do. And they said that they would like to wait. They will give it 5 minutes. So we well, yeah, according to the rules. So I guess we can wait here. We're going to see right now if Mr. Pants will be back amongst us or if there will be a swap. They are now on the clock waiting to see if he does come back. They do get 5 minutes before the match has to be called. And maybe it doesn't have to be called because he's back.
Hopefully they can come back as soon as possible because I feel like Mr. Shiny Pants was doing a lot and he is back. They are
Cool.
back.
I think
I'm
you're right.
guessing.
Looks like it, so we can just see if they want to just check to make sure that the mic is on.
Hopefully everything's okay. They can get back in and continue where they have left off.
Yeah, I think right now they are in the middle of a team fight, actually. So it's probably going to get a little hectic when they start back up.
I feel like if there's a DC going on, everybody gets a little bash for like having bad Wi-Fi, quote unquote. It doesn't
We
matter if you have good Wi-Fi or not. If you're DC, then you're just bad Wi-Fi.
we consistently play with a friend, and we refer to his internet like he doesn't DC like very often, like hardly ever. When he does, we say that he has dollar store Wi-Fi. Don't know how you could get it from there, but like it's broke.
Oh, we have another lever. Well, another DC maybe?
He is gone
What
again.
is,
Oh no! Is something happening?
what is happening?
We have some voice chat issues, so I guess there was just a quick reset. Reset. Blah, 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 blah.
Jellybean is back in the game.
Okay, we have in from the royalty that they all got kicked from voice chat, so there probably is a little bit of something going on. Yeah, somebody in our chat in Twitch just said that the servers may be crashing. You might be right. um, Seems to be
Maybe.
like it. Okay, they will be bringing in Smiling Ghost for the pants. right?
It seems like they're ready.
Cool. Unpausing the match now? That was kind of intense.
This way.
Whew, and everybody has to kind of
Oh,
get
but-
back in the rhythm of everything because they were paused for a second.
They do have to start from 0 ult charge though, which is quite a disadvantage for Royalty here. We have Azazel coming up with Dragon quite soon.
Yeah, Smiling Ghost taking some of that
And
brunt damage in the dragon
comes
too.
out.
Damage increase.
Ooh, Azazel get the pick on Narlock. And it seems like Royalty might have to be a bit more defensive over here. Oh, Smiling Ghost gets picked off over here, and Royalty is gonna have to back off and regroup over here.
My turn.
Yeah, they're coming up with like a bunch of ultimates for lames too, so they're gonna just be able to continue to hold this corner. Like some of the most powerful ultimates on their team are ready. There's a bunch for Royalty right now that they can leverage. Smiling Ghost managed to get that shatter online too pretty quickly.
Azazel with another dragon here. That is quite fast of an ultimate to build on Hanzo twice in the span of maybe a minute. Both teams get picked, but I don't think they're gonna be able to push this. And the res coming out from Dire Raven just holds Royalty back just a bit. Flux does not get anybody but Smiling Ghost, but his bubble saves him. So I think Royalty will be able to push here.
Yeah, they're kind of got it right now. King coming on with this grab too, so they have some really decent ultimates to kind of leverage here, but they're getting slowed down just a little bit with those picks on Narlox and Smiling Ghost.
Oh, the main support, Ana gets picked off, and I don't think they'll be able to push this anymore. They're gonna have to regroup over here again.
They are taking that left room. I'm a little afraid of because Deity has that window. You can put that window right up against the door. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh, wow, what a shatter from Smiling Ghost. If the team can follow up on that, that's gonna be huge.
And once again, Dire Raven with the res.
Res from both sides of the team to get the Ryan back up. Oh, the dragon and the blade, the pig, and this might be Royalties. And it is! Royalties
Wow.
take the map!
Even with
Wow.
that last minute swap, that's crazy.
Play of the game.
Are we gonna see a reverse sweep? Royalty putting up a fight, making sure that they're not out of this just yet. Oh wow! What a play.
You know, you called it very, very early on about this reverse sweep, and I mean, this could be it.
Maybe like everything that I've been saying so far has just been happening, and I'm just super excited with the Widowmaker and like the back-to-back team fights, the 50-50 team fights, and now maybe a reverse sweep. This is also exciting.
I know, I'm like a little concerned now. It seems that lames, they're not like down, but they're gonna be even pretty quickly if Royalty continues to kind of move in this way. and
I
especially
feel
with that
like
last minute thing, like I thought, like usually some teams can't find their way back from having like a quick replacement player, but that was incredible work.
yeah, because like you're starting from a whole new rhythm, you have new people, you're absolutely like half the team, there were three down. So like half the team had to just completely reset, and they were able to bounce back and still push that point and take the map. That is huge for them. That's actually really good that they're able to fall back into that rhythm and keep on going. So hopefully we're gonna see Royalty put up a fight and maybe even take Numbani, go for that fifth map.
Well, and
And
what's the score? Yeah, go ahead.
with the score being 2-1, Lame's up by 2 points. Hopefully, maybe things work out in Royalty's favor, because I'm seriously really hoping for that map 5.
Listen, I love a good struggle, honestly. And I think not that a good sweep is a good sweep because you kind of see like this true strength of a team, but you really see kind of the dynamics of both teams when they have to continue to have like these different types of fights, just to, like
Yeah, right?
exercise their strengths and whatnot.
I just feel like it brings out so much excitement and so many expectations, and it's always such a fun time watching all 5 maps. Getting to 5 maps, it's like the adrenaline kicks in, and it's so fun when it gets to that point.
We do have some swaps, however. Lame says no changes, but Smiling Ghost and King moving up from support, I believe, is now going to the tank. Kuketsuki and Narlox will be their DPS line, and Shelly staying in as well as qualified for their supports. And I think they are ready to move into map 4, moving pretty quickly here.
Numbani. I feel like a rush comp would be really good on Numbani.
Hold on, we have a pause. That's saying, are they not ready? That's my bad. Oh, we have a bio break going on. Okay, they are ready now. Okay, somebody was rushing back from. I probably started when they were just putting like their paper towel after washing their hands in the garbage. It was like two. They probably heard it start. They're like, wait.
Probably, but thankfully the match has not started just yet. So they have the time to get 2 points still. We do see an Ashe from lanes. That's quite exciting.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And it seems like Kuketsuki is gonna be running that Genji. I am excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah, I'm a little scared. We see Matt on the high ground for Lames, in that infamous doorway, and he's such a scary Reinhardt. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a couple of head bashing fights up here.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
I'm excited to see how this Ryan 1v1 asserting dominance fight goes on.
They're starting from underneath though.
Yeah. And they'll be TPing high ground. Oh, what a bait from Royalty. Taking that high ground control is super important. And it seems like lanes will not be able to contest them here like they want to.
Maintaining connection.
Both teams are getting a bunch of damages in, but it seems like Flames will be the one to get the picks first. Mei coming up with a flank and getting 2 picks right off the bat.
I know, I was a little scared. I heard Meg
That's-
coming up the back of those stairs, and he ended up kind of just making it deadly up top.
Right, but then he does get picked off, so
Yeah, they're a little trapped now. Half the team is over here, both tanks with the supports. They're kind of gonna have to figure out if they are able to get out. Smiling Ghost, however, takes out Meh. Very impressed, kind of like how they're moving as a 3-person unit right now.
this takes a lot of team coordination to do, and I am so impressed about what they're doing right here. Smiling Ghost gets the D-Mech, as well as the kill on Diva. But it seems like Flames might be holding on to this point just a little bit longer. We're seeing a bunch of ults coming online on both teams. Shatter from May, I wonder how he's gonna play it out this time. Grav from King.
I mean, they do have the facilities. They got about 1:30 left, so they're gonna have to just make some really big choices and fully commit to whatever idea they're about to go with. Window is up, but they are trapped in this room.
Bomb coming out from Blank. Oh, huge shatter from mid. They're gonna push in on this. But mid does get the pick on Fab. That's their main support down. The res comes out. And Royalty needs to push this.
Yeah, huge things going on. Quickly throw up that shield, and it gets blocked.
Oh, that was so huge. Like, the shatter connected from Smiling Ghost, but then the sleep from Deity just saved their fight.
And I heard a bit of stomping. I thought somebody might have been underneath, but I don't know if continuing this route is their best idea.
That shatter, wow, May is really asserting the dominance. He's just absolutely a menace right now. They need to counter him. They need to pick him off to push this.
They're going to have to go fast. Kyuketsuki coming in with this visor. They are choosing the bottom route. Gonna get that final touch. Ooh.
It does end up contesting him, and that's Wiser down. Mercy gets picked off. That's
King is well qualified, trying their best with this window here, and Lames hold.
oh my. That was so good. Oh my god, man was insane. That shatter usage, the way he built it up so fast, the way he used it, those shatters, the picks. That gameplay was just so good.
They're fighting really hard.
They are, but you just need to have somebody pick Meh off because he cannot be left standing.
I'm kind of nervous. Well, maybe nervous is right, because this is still match point. Havana was match point, and Numbani still match point, because Lames is still up 2 with Royalty 1. So if they are able to even take first tick, this goes to them.
Honestly, I wonder how they managed to hold this. We do see Kyuketsuki coming out with Ash, Narlox on the Junkrat, so that's a bunch of damage. Like, a lot of damage if they can get the damage in. Azazel and Detective on the Doom and Tob again. I am excited to see how that plays out. Oh, and it seems like Royalty is playing the double shield again on Sigma Ryan. Seems interesting.
Don't worry, my friend.
It looks like Smiling Ghost is taking some like recon, just taking a look and see what they have. They are heading underneath, however. I'm a little nervous because they're gonna get a little funneled, but Detective leaves a turret mid-street for when they cross this point. Ooh!
Oh, huge anti-nade and sleeve from Qualified onto Azazel, gets the pick, and that might just slow down the lanes a bit more. Smiling Ghost gets the pick on Mei, and lanes will be falling back over here to regroup. Oh wow, Kiketsuki got a bunch of damage and it's almost online with Bob.
Yeah, Zazel up top. Ooh!
Oh wow, these anti-nades from Qualified are absolutely... Anti-nades from both sides are just saving fights.
Yeah, Kyuketsuki kind of deadly. I heard the Bob takes out Deity, she takes out Dire Raven. That's their whole support line gone. And about 2 minutes left. I mean, still very good time. They can kind of continue to try what they have, but they're going to have to kind of start making some big decisions here, especially because Royalty right now is banking, like, huge ultimates.
Both teams have 3 ultimates online, but it seems like Lanes is coming up with Shatter as well over here, which I expect Mei will build. Oh, Narlox with a huge tire gets both supports as well as Ashe, and that's gonna save them for the fight. That's Royalty holding this point even longer. Wow, that is a really good anti-nade. That slows Royalty down a bit and gives them the time to make space to push in.
There's only about a minute left. Azazel gets that pick, gets picked right back.
Oh, it seems like Mei is in a tough position, and he does get picked off over here by Smiling Ghost. Smiling Ghost seemed to be really putting up a fight against Mei here. He's just like, okay, I see what you did with Ryan last time, but wait a minute, let me do this now.
I'm, like, they're still just, like, the only win condition right now that's kind of in Lame's favor is that they have Shatter, Bob, they do have Torb Ultimate, and Valk. The Valk is out now. They're gonna have to move quickly.
The Detective was going for a flank, probably waiting to ult, but manages, Smiling Ghost does manage to get the pick, and oh wow, Shatter coming from both sides. But it seems like this might actually go for lanes.
Narlox, whoa!
Wow. Wow. That last fight, Lanes just cleaned it off. And as expected, Mei gets play. That Shatter, oh this Shatter, this was my favorite. Look at that! The timing, the ultimate usage is so good. That was so good from both teams, honestly. Like, Royalty did not back off. They managed to, like, hold their ground and put up a fight as well. So, I think both teams did amazing.
I was like holding my breath during that one because it seemed like Royalty had came back so strong. Kyuketsuki making these like critical picks, just so scary on the Ashe. But I think what won them in the end for Lames is that they had like strategically used some of the ultimates they have left to kind of close out the point.
I think you're right about that one. I feel like the ultimate usage was better on Lame's side, but Royalty did hold their ground. Smiling Ghost did manage to hold his ground against Mev with the Reinhardt, picking him off. Qualified against Deity with the Ana. They were neck to neck, but unfortunately the ult usage was on Lame's side. But Royalty did do like amazing. Yuketsuki was really good on that Widowmaker, on the Ashe. So good.
So I think taking a look at like our MVPs, let's start with Royalty. Personally, my MVPs, I'm gonna say Qualified because Qualified has flexed all around this. I really appreciate all of the like different roles and different characters they've played. I love a good player like that. And Smiling Ghost, I have to give it to them for joining on Havana and making a shatter just in time for the game to end. That's a huge thing.
You're absolutely right on that. For me personally, I would say it's either Kyuketsuki or Qualified because Kyuketsuki, it's so rare to see such a good Widow, and I was so impressed by that. But Qualified on that Ana, the anti-nades, the sleep dots, the picks that they got, the damage they put in, it was so good to see. And Ana being played the way she's supposed to be played, and actually keeping the team up and all that. So it's a hard decision between Kyuketsuki and Qualif.
All right, and what about for lames? I have to say, I love like Dire Raven's risky mercy, just kind of making me nauseous. But man, like on this Reinhardt, like making me entirely nervous. Those would have to be my picks.
For me, I think it's just gonna be have to be meh. Blank is pretty close because I saw like their gameplay is like really good on the Zarya, on the Diva, the contesting, the bubble management, tracking. It was also good, but I feel like Meh owns MVP at least for this match because that Reinhardt, the way that they build ult so fast and like those shatters, some of them were blocked, which I really have to give Royalty credits for, but overall, Meh was just a menace. If they were doing so great. So yeah, for me, it's gotta be Meh.
Agreed. Killer stuff. Well, if you made it to the end of this stream, you have seen Leams, my brain be working. Lames take away just 3-1 Royalty Knights, not able to quite get in there, but fighting just as hard. Lames taking it all the way in week 8. I think that's pretty much it for me. Any other comments from you, Calico?
I think that's it for me, and thank you for letting me cast this. I was super excited, and I'm so glad I got the opportunity to. It was a great match to cast, and I had a lot of fun.
We always appreciate having you guys watch with us. That was Calico. I am Light, and this was week 8, tier 3. Lames against Royalty Knights. Lames taking it 3-1 against Royalty Knights. And that's all she wrote. We'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.
Bye.